Welcome back, guys, with another LEGO Star Wars review today. Today we are beginning reviewing set 75336, LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar. This one is from 2023. It originally was priced at $45, but about now you can get it on discount or secondhand marketplace for $30 to $35. It includes 320 pieces, and like it's a normal Advent calendar, you could turn it around and you can see sort of like the back side of it as you open one per day until the 24th. Obviously, I already opened it. Sorry that it is late. And then you'll be able to play with your figurines and models right here. I'm going to be reviewing all 24 of the small items, but not in order of the days, just in relativity to minifigures and then builds and whatnot. But like I said, you could play with them here, stand them up here. And it has all the instructions or on the wall of every build, like that. And the back of the box is just showing that as well. A lot of them are always remake characters, except the holiday figurines. So let's get straight into it. The first figure we have is Endor Leia. She comes with actually 2 blasters and a cookie accessory. She has a very nice front face along with good leg and torso printing. They did a great job on that. And if you flip the character around, you can see the backside of her beautiful hairpiece along with the hood printed on the back. And then if you flip her head around, she has another headpiece that is hidden completely by the hairpiece she has. Overall, a great figure. The next figure that was included was Omega. She has great arm printing, and it is the similar figure as seen in the Justifier. The hairpiece is so accurate, and the legs are sadly not adjustable. But going to the back side, you can see a nice back print along with the hair looking quite well, and you can see the shoulder and the forearm printing of the nice red coloring there. And if you take the hairpiece off, you could see her second face, and this also looks quite well, a more action-packed face. Overall, a great minifigure that is part of this set. Next up, we have the 212th Trooper. Obviously, I love the coloring on this figure, and everything looks quite well, except as the helmet holes are quite blaringly just bad, as M&R Productions says, my inspiration. He comes with a nice face print underneath that we see a lot, along with the long rifle with the candle piece. Obviously no hair print or hairpiece needed. And then on the back side, you can see the huge helmet hole, which will be on both sides, and the beautiful back printing. I think the orange coloring is great. Next up, we have Emperor Palpatine with his Christmas sweater of the Death Star. That looks great and sort of exclusive. The hood piece is very new and accurate, but it just looks a little off here. He is included with a cup piece and a lightning bolt piece. The waist cape kind of looks a little odd, as his whole body does not have it, but the leg printing is nice nonetheless. And then on the back, you can see the Christmas sweater continued along with the hood piece looking quite well. Next up, we have a Christmas white Ewok with a green hood piece with a sweater sort of on it with the Christmas tree. Looks great. The coloring all throughout the figure looks great. And the hood with the ears on the back and on top also fit very well. I like this compared to the normal brown, as just the overall white fits more with Christmas, and the whole piece is a mold that just slides on the top of the head, which is quite good. Next up, we have the Staff Speeder, and this is just a great build that sits on top of a clear piece that looks like it's floating on a piece of grass. The build itself is compatible with the droid minifigure. It comes with 2 arms, one to connect completely onto the build and one to hold the blaster. The build itself looks great with all the blasters, looks accurate and perfect size. The next build we have is sort of a character as a buildable reindeer Gronk droid, and to be honest, this is one of the better builds I've seen out of this advent calendar. The antlers look so good, the coloring all over, and then on the back side with the little tail nub piece with the white and with the brown. Overall, great build. Next up, we have the Christmas buildable pit droid, and this will go good with my N1 Starfighter once I build it. but the coloring on this just amazing, and you won't really see it anywhere else. You get a nice little bag with him, maybe holding some presents, and just the coloring of it just looks phenomenal with the blue eye, the white snow on top, and just the arms on the backside looks just as good, and you could pose both arms and both legs along with the head to your own liking, and I just think overall it's phenomenal. The next build is quite simple, and you would think it's not that good, but with the Palpatine figure, I think it goes great. After Christmas, you could put this on display, and overall, great. With this build, it is obviously compatible with your Christmas Palpatine, so you would just sit him down like so, and then put the studs in the back, and then there he is seated down like he does in the Death Star. Looks pretty good, looks nice for display, especially. The mechanics behind it would just be the two studs right there, going the two studs down there, and it's nice how the figure won't get stuck due to this nice tile piece. The next one here is the clone command post. It's a pretty nice design right here, quite simple. These two hinges just move right here, and then on the back, this is like a radar dish that could rotate full 360 degrees. It reminds me of the clone battle pack that is out and the OG one. So for him, you got to put his arms up a little bit, and you can just stand him up like so. And he looks pretty good here, like especially in like a mock or something in a big build with a lot of them. You could just put these around and it'd be cool command stations. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. The next build is once again compatible with a figure, and in this case you would obviously use the Ewok. The design of it is quite interesting. I don't think it looks that good without a figure on it, and the design has a few flaws as it's very flimsy, weak, and very angled. Probably one of the least favorite builds. A problem I encountered with this one is it's meant obviously for like an Ewok glider, but his arms will not be able to reach across and clip. If so, it would just detach like so off the one stud. So I mean, you could have him on one hand and it looks like it's on the other, and he could like glide through and everything, but the other hand would just not connect. And if someone found a way to do it, please comment down below. But also, like I said before, you could just pull these down to whichever angle you like, and yeah, it's a pretty nice design. The design of this brick built sleigh looks quite well. The only thing I didn't really like about it, as you'll see later, is you could fit a figure in it, and it looks good with like a child figure with small legs, but when you use an adult or big legged figure, it looks a little odd. Overall, the front and back designs look great, and great color choice. Something nice with the sled is, it actually came with the Omega, I believe, or day 1, day 2. Like I said, you just clip her in right here, and then there she is sitting in the sleigh. You can just push it along. There's a little friction, but nothing too bad, and it's meant to actually have the Gronk droid in front, sort of like this. So then you have a reindeer with the sled, and then with the Omega figure. I guess you can possibly even, I believe you could, I didn't see this on anything, but you should be able to connect her with the hand. As you can see, a lot of these pieces are quite unstable, but they're not meant to be like super tugged along with, but I guess you could have it kind of like this as one motion and then just push it across. And like you said, like I said earlier, you can hear the friction, but it's nothing too bad. And it looks kind of silly, but the better design, in my opinion, would just be like this, and you could just kind of have it where you won't be able to see it like that. And I think it looks very good like that. Next up is the shield generator, and the best part about this one is the proportions. The green pieces are perfectly sized for trees, and the overall dish just looks great. The coloring also great, and I like how it's easily posed along with a great display piece. With this one, you could actually flip it around. You could see a little hinge piece where you could rotate it about 180 degrees. It would not look particularly good like this, so I recommend you just to leave it initially like this, or you could angle it a little bit like it's shooting up or reading a distress call upwards like that. Once again, another great design. Next up, I have my least favorite build of the entire set, being the Endor bunker where Han Solo is trying to open the door in Return of the Jedi. I love that scene, but this just does not look good. It looks kind of funky. It looks like a shield generator or something that goes on Hoth. It just doesn't look good. The design is funky and there's so many studs showing. This next one is something thought I would never have seen, but it's just a mini Ewok village, and technically this is the second time they've made it from 2013, I believe, and then now. Overall, great build with like the trees going through the build, and then with the ramp and the green leaves and the stud showing as like holes. Overall, an outstanding build. Next up, we have the Clone Turbo Tank, and a lot of people are saying they like this build, but in my opinion, it just looks way too blocky with the wheels like being suspended above the tile below. It just looks weird, and from the back, it just even looks worse. The good feature, I guess, is the cannon can rotate. Aside from that, I just don't like the overall design of this build. This is one they have made a lot, as this is the Imperial Star Destroyer. This overall probably has 10 or 12 pieces, and the two different colors of gray looks great. The proportions of everything looks amazing, from the bridge down to the whole base of it. From all angles, it looks phenomenal, and I'll definitely be putting this one on display, maybe with a micro X-Wing. Next up, we have the Retired Justifier. I'm surprised this one made an appearance so soon after the original build just being created. The wings pointed upward look great. It kind of reminds me of General Grievous's Starfighter. Aside from that, I'm happy they included a lot of pieces and didn't try to cut corners by taking pieces out, as I think this one is probably a 10 out of 10. And I just like the design of it overall. The next build we have is the ATST, and with this one, so it stands up better, they included a base plate, 3x2 tile, which works quite well, and I like how the legs are already posed to make it look like it's walking. The build itself is good, and the cannons are adjustable. The backside looks a little bare, but that is okay. For this build, you could obviously just push a little bit and it'll give it a little rotation. Other than that, both of the eyes are a little bit functional right here. Same with the other one. Technically, these could go down, but obviously that will completely ruin the design. And so with that, so you kind of want to have it at a nice angle in like the movies, and then obviously the cannon on the bottom rotates, but it is connected on one stud, so it could probably go like 200 degrees, but easily able to fall off. Otherwise, a good design. I know I say this a lot, but this is probably another one of my favorites, which is the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter. It just looks so good, and the way they use those like drill spike pieces on each of the ends looks great. The jet engine's phenomenal. Both cockpits are amazing. Overall, just an outstanding build. I know I just came off praising the N1 Starfighter, but this speeder bike from Endor just looks great, from the handles to the cannons on front, the shape of it. It just looks great. I hope they make this as a display for like an 18 plus set in the near future, but overall, outstanding, 10 out of 10. Our second to last build here is one I did not buy a few years ago, but we have the AAT Armored Assault Tank in the navy blue, dark blue coloring. It looks good. The cannons on the side and on top are a good, great choice here, as it discolors from the blue quite well. I don't know, it just seems something that seems a little off. Maybe it's the big cannon. Up next, and the last one, is the Imperial Shuttle. This one looks good on display like that, and sadly, obviously, it doesn't come with a stand, which makes a lot of sense. We could pull the retractable wings out, and you can have it like this. Sadly, you can't really balance it unless it's like that, which doesn't look particularly good. Other than that, the white pieces are nice. Cheese slow makes a nice contour right there. You can obviously angle this a little up and down. The guns look pretty good. Size accurate, which is the most important. I think it looks the best kind of like this. Obviously, since you can't display it the other way. And then on the back side, you have the nice one, clear one tile, trans blue for like the jet engine. Otherwise, a very good micro build right here. Alright guys, so that is going to conclude our review here. I would recommend trying to find a discount for this. Obviously, no one's going to buy this anymore. You're just going to wait till next year. But with advent calendars in general, $45 just seems like a lot. Sadly, I'll continue to pay the price, because I want to open one every day during the month of December. But if someone who can wait, and like the city one, I got that one for $15 on Walmart, or at Walmart's clearance section. And if you could wait for that, I would recommend it, because the figure section in this one could have been better, I believe. and then some of the builds were a little wonky. One thing I did notice, the glider is supposed to be displayed like that, so don't need to comment my mistake right there. He's supposed to have his hands going outward like that. I've had no idea. Overall, good set. I'll probably rate it a total 8.5 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Peace.